spotlight, Hollywood frights. Tough guys gonna fight, sometime love can bite. Yeah. Car chases and sucking faces, starships battles with alien races. Make you laugh out loud, make you feel real proud. Animated delights and heroes in tights. Yeah. Movies so plenty you can watch all night, and all of them gonna be in the spotlight.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight, boys and girls. My name is John Horton, and my co-host, as always, is sitting over there bopping along. Go ahead and intro yourself, Bob.
Hey, this is Kyle Pierson. You're watching In the Spotlight, and today we have a musical episode. What is our favorite motion picture soundtracks, where the music is just as much a part of the movie as the action that takes place in between the songs? I'm going to start this one off right off the bat with my. No, actually, I'm not.
Actually,
You said you were.
I'm
was
going
that?
to interrupt real quick. I'm sorry, so sorry, but I got to get this out there. Two movies with great soundtracks. I'm betting I know what Kyle's movies are.
All right,
Going on record right now.
let's see it.
Let's see it.
I'm going to say it. Tell me what it is. I want to know what it is. Tell me your guess.
All right. My two predictions for Kyle's movies,
Just do one.
just do one, Blues Brothers. Da, da!
Very good. Very
She's got the
good.
Katie and
Love the Blues Brothers movie. Love the Blues Brothers soundtrack. Every single track on there, I'm a big fan of. That movie is one that sometimes when we're in the car, I'll listen to the soundtrack when I, drive around. But if we go long distances, sometimes we'll actually have a laptop playing the movie because it's a movie that my wife can watch while she's sitting in the car, and I can listen to it because it's got so many good songs in it. So it's a good one for that. If you're not familiar with the movie, it's based off a sketch from Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. They play two brothers who were part of a band. One of them ends up in prison. Upon his release, they decide to put the band back together, and the music that they put in the film is phenomenal. In fact, there should be another soundtrack because there's a lot of songs in the movie that aren't performed by the Blues Brothers band themselves that lend themselves to a whole other soundtrack that's never been released, unfortunately. But for my money, my favorite soundtrack of all time, the Blues Brothers. John, what is your number one?
My number one is a movie that I actually reviewed 37 years ago. Shocker. Wes Craven film about a serial killer who is sent to the electric chair, and he comes back through some means to have his revenge on the person who helped get him arrested by taking out his family and friends before coming after him. This soundtrack is a heavy metal, hard rock soundtrack. It's got songs from Alice Cooper. It's got a song from Megadeth singing No More Mr. Nice Guy, an Alice Cooper song. It's got Dangerous Toys singing Demon Bell, which kind of pisses me off because I love that song on the soundtrack. But when I plugged in Dangerous Toys into Alexa to listen to on the road, them motherfuckers don't sound the same.
Really? Is it
Yeah,
a live
on the
version or
soundtrack,
something?
they're very scratchy and witchy sounding. Demon Bell, Demon. When I put them on Alexa, they sound like every other hair band of the 80s. They sound like Cinderella and Bon Jovi and all them fucks. I'm like, where's the screaming part?
Hmm.
But it's also got two tracks on there from a only for this soundtrack band, The Dudes of Wrath, which is made up of several hard rock legends, such as Alice Cooper, Ace Frehley, I believe. No, someone from Kiss. What's the Paul Stanley from Kiss, the lead singer. He's a part of it. Plus, there are other band members, their guitarists and drummer. Those are all individuals from other bands that came together to form kind of like a rock and roll supergroup that only was around for that soundtrack. Killer soundtrack.
Have
Love it.
you have you had Alexa play the soundtrack itself? And
No, because she won't do it. The soundtrack
really,
isn't on Amazon Music, which pisses me off. I had to go to YouTube to listen to the fucking soundtrack.
see, I had that problem. Uh, Boom Shakalak from the beginning of Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2 is not on the soundtrack. It's the one song that they use twice, and it's not on either soundtrack, and it's not on anything that streams. So yeah, I had to go and find on YouTube or something. I'm like, are you kidding me? And yeah, yeah.
Well, they don't have any of the Amazon Prime doesn't have any of the Shocker songs. Not I shouldn't say that. It doesn't have the Shocker album on there.
Yeah, yeah.
I might be able to find individual songs, but the album, no. And I spent a lot of time today trying to verify some of my picks. I want to go back and re-listen to this soundtrack to make sure it was good.
Hmm.
Couldn't find them. I had to go to YouTube for a lot of them, like Caddyshack 2. I looked into that. Because Caddyshack 2 is a horrible movie, but Kenny Loggins' Nobody's Fool is a pretty damn good song.
I had the Caddyshack 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, see? It's not a
You know
good
what I
movie.
went and I bought digitally the other day? Caddyshack 2.
Did you really?
You can you can you can you can get it for $2 on disc to digital on Fandango it now. So I did that and I got it digitally because we talked about it. I'm like, you know what? I want to see Caddyshack 2 again.
You
And
want to know what pisses me off?
I haven't watched it.
After listening to Nobody's Fool, I want to watch it again too.
Okay? You're gonna go back and you're like, you know what? This movie wasn't so bad.
I don't think so. It's one of the
This is
videos that
Esther House.
that's why one of the I watched a video on YouTube and that's what started. It had that fucking Dan Aykroyd. Okay, Mr. Esterhaus or Mrs. Esterhaus. I'm like, oh my fucking god, are you serious?
It's bizarre how much Dan Aykroyd is popping up in conversations because he's right there.
Yeah.
We were just talking about trading places,
Mhm.
and then yeah, Caddyshack. It's the
Spies Like
Dan
Us.
Aykroyd era.
We did Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us. Yeah. See,
Have you contacted Dan Aykroyd for an interview yet?
no, but I'm going to now. I think we have to.
I think so.
I think we have to, and I don't think he's doing much. So I think we actually have a shot. We might be able to get Dan Aykroyd. We're both fans of him. You haven't said anything bad about Dan, so I think we
No.
got a shot.
Wait a minute. What do you mean I haven't said anything? I'm not negative towards our guest or potential guest.
Oh, you're not negative to our potential guests, but there have been a number of actors you've expressed your dislike for, and fortunately, he isn't one of them. So we're good. We've got one that we're safe to bring on without them saying, "Well, let me see what they've done first." Oh, you don't like me, you son of a bitch. Well, I ain't coming on your show.
One of our upcoming episodes is going to be 5 actors that Kyle doesn't like.
Oh, that might be
I
tough.
can't be the only one that says I don't like this actor because they're I don't know what the hell that was.
Even actors I don't think I like eventually do something. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're pretty good. I mean, it wouldn't be that I didn't like the actor. I just didn't like the character they were playing.
Oh my god. Yeah, but if they play the same character all the time, tell me how many different characters Paul Rudd has played. Tell me how many different characters Jack Black
He
has played.
Friggin' Paul Rudd played Ant-Man when he was small, when he was large, and when he was regular size. That's 3 characters in one movie. God damn it. Paul
Oh,
Rudd's a shit. Plus, I think there was some dimension. He only played him super small when he was in the quantum realm. Just four characters, one movie.
So whose turn was
What's
it?
the second movie you think or soundtrack you think is my favorite?
I'm gonna go Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's a good one. That's not one I picked.
Oh shit. All right.
That's a good one. I didn't even think of that.
I thought for sure that would be a shoe in with as many times as we went and seen it.
Oh my God. That's if we do another one, I think it would be included in that. Because yeah, I used to listen to that soundtrack. And not just that, I had the it's an anniversary set, which has the entire soundtrack to the movie, the entire soundtrack to the musical, another disc that is called Rocky Horror International, and it's got a couple songs that had been shot for the movie but were edited out. So they put them in there, but then it's basically the full soundtrack, but each song is from a different country. So one's in a French version and one's a
Oh
Spanish,
wow.
and then they throw in the two that were edited out of the movie. So you're getting all these different cuts. And then there's a fourth CD that's just songs by the people that are in the movie. There's a Meatloaf song, and actually, I don't think there's a Meatloaf song, but there's a Tim Curry and Little Nell. And um, so, yeah, I listen to those a lot. So you may have uh, that might actually be second. The thing is, I don't think I've listened to it in a long time regularly. I think I wore myself out on it. Just like the movie itself, we watched it so many times. I think I saw it
Yeah.
in the theater 9 times. Although we had that friend that saw it like a hundreds plus.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I got overrun by it. I did recently. There's a Damien made a ton of different remixes of Time Warp, and they're all really good.
Who did?
So somebody called Damien. The only song I know that they ever sang was Time Warp, but I used to have the 12-inch single, and there was like four versions on that, and then I found it on Alexa, and it's a completely different version. And
Huh.
then I found another version on Alexa, completely different version. So I found six different versions of the Time Warp, but it's a more upbeat disco, hip
Wow.
hop, version of it that is it's pretty fun. But that's probably that would have been my number two a while ago, but instead Beverly Hills Cop.
I was gonna do that.
Yeah, that's that from the Heat Is On to Neutron Dance and everything in between. It's another one of those albums where you can stick it in and every single song resonates.
Yes.
And when you watch the movie, and it resonates so much that when they made the new Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, there's songs from this movie that they're like, you know what, we still need those songs in this movie, and they
Right.
pulled songs from one and two and put them in there. Of the four soundtrack, I haven't actually. The fourth soundtrack is basically a best of one and two, and three was actually a pretty good soundtrack. Not as strong as one and two, but I liked it. But yeah, you got Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley, a Detroit cop in Beverly Hills trying to investigate his friend's murder, and gets caught up in some uh, uh,
Shenanigans.
shenanigans that gets him in trouble with the law in Beverly Hills. And he's got to figure out how to keep those cops at bay while he investigates his own thing. Meanwhile, his captain in um, Beverly Hills is not a fan of him investigating this case. So, a great movie, uh, good sequels, and a soundtrack that has proven the test of time. Because yeah, you can still listen to any of those songs today, and again, they would not have made the new movie. They knew that they needed those songs to bring back the nostalgic feeling of the first film, and it does help. So Beverly Hills Cop is my second favorite. What is yours, John?
Well, before we move on to my second, that was one I was looking heavily into. And I was gonna go with that until I came across this other soundtrack. I also looked into part two because Shakedown is such a great fucking song off the second
Yep.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
But
they
all
did.
the
They
other
did it.
songs on there, I was like, meh.
Yeah. So the second one has got its moments, but it's not a full from beginning to end soundtrack like the first one is. It's hard to find a movie soundtrack that is good all the way through.
Right. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about James Gunn, but every single one of his movies, the music is fucking amazing. I don't
Hmm.
know if he picks the songs, saying I want these songs in there, or who
I,
he works with that gets those songs.
I
God,
believe it is him. I believe it is him that says he comes up with a concept and he's like, okay, this song will make this movie. I think he writes to the songs in his head. I'm not positive that's how he does it, but the fact that it keeps happening in specifically James Gunn movies,
yeah.
um, and especially after the Peacemaker dance openings,
Oh yes,
he definitely has a talent for picking songs that are going to be popular. So
yeah,
yeah, excellent choice.
yeah. I love it. Ooka shaka, ooka ooka
Okay.
ooka shaka. I can't stop this feeling.
Even the like sometimes when I'm starting at work, I'll put in I think it's Redbone, boom, 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 boom,
Oh
ba
yes,
da ba. Hey, it's like it's a great way to you start cleaning around the house or something, it just starts the little move, and the next thing you know, you're in for the long haul. So
yep. You're
that's a
doing
fantastic
Flashdance.
soundtrack, and yeah, all the movies. Especially the first two. The first two, I really love the soundtracks on those two.
Yeah, and he moves on to Peacemaker, and I love Peacemaker, all that shit in there, and I've never heard any of them songs before.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny because when Peacemaker came out, I wasn't thrilled with the character in the movie.
Right.
And I'm like, he's kind of a jerk. So why would you make a spin-off from the jerk in the movie? And then you realize, well, that's the whole point is to try to, you know, quit being a jerk and be a nice guy. And it starts off with that song, and I'm like, the is
Same here.
like, I'm like this is, and then as it's going, I'm like, okay, and then Patrick comes out, you're like, well, this is funny, and and it keeps getting better. I'm like, all right, and then I kept playing, and I'm like, man, this song is really good. So now it's on my playlist, and I was telling my wife, I'm like, you should see this, and she said, well, I didn't like that character. I'm like, neither did I. And I'm like, just watch this show. And I said,
Yeah.
if nothing else, you got to watch the open. So she's watching this and she's like, what? And I had the same reaction. She's like, the song is kind of catchy. I'm like, well, wait until you watch it a couple times. And she's watched the first episode. She goes, this is funny. And I'm like, oh, the next one's even funnier. So, and then we go to watch the episode. And because whatever show we watch, immediately when it says skip open or whatever, skip intro, we click on it to get to the show.
Yep.
And she
Same
goes to
here.
click it. I'm like, don't you dare. Like, this song plays all the way through every time. And then she got into the song, so she really liked it. And then when they changed it, we're like, what is this shit? I don't like this song. I don't like this dance. This is bullshit. And then the next one, I'm like, well, it's not horrible. It's just not what I'm used to. And the next one, I'm like, it's got a little bit. And by the end of it, we're sitting there. As soon as
Yep.
it comes out, we're getting to it just as much as we did the first one. They're like, man, the guy's a genius.
He is. If you don't
Yeah.
like him for anything else, his choice in getting music for the movies is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I got to
No,
go
he,
back and look at Slither. He did that. I'm curious what that soundtrack looks like, music songs wise.
yeah,
I think he
I
did Day of
didn't
the
see that.
Dead remake too, didn't he?
Yes.
That was a pretty goddamn good one.
Yeah, I don't remember the soundtrack to that at all. I remember the movie being great. And
The soundtrack
then he,
had Johnny Cash, When the Man Comes Around, I think is what
okay, yeah, all right.
that was one. And then the end theme, music at the end when they were showing the camcorder footage. Um, Other people I'm not going to try to mimic it, but
Yeah,
it was really good song at the
yeah.
end.
And he directed that, right? Because I think
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Zack Snyder produced it and then he directed it.
I think
Was
so.
he? Yeah, I think that was the case. And then I think he produced Brightburn, but I don't think he directed it.
Oh, I forgot about Brightburn.
I love Brightburn.
That was great. Oh, hell yeah.
That that's what I wanted a sequel to. I'm like, I want to know what happens. This this is that was really good. Because when he started doing Superman, I was like, well, I know he can do an evil version of this because he's already done
Yeah.
it. So I wonder what he's going to do with the happy version, and yeah, so yeah, I'm a fan.
You know where he came from?
Mom and Pop?
Well, no, yeah. Troma. He was originally with
Really?
Troma.
I didn't know that.
I think, let me double check. I think he was hang on. Can you still see and hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm bumping
sadly.
over to IMDb real quick because I think he did Tromeo and Juliet.
Did he?
I believe so.
Now
James.
that you say that, it seems like I did hear that a while ago, and it said something about his roots or something. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that then, and I must have forgotten it again. I was
Yeah, it
thinking
looks
it
like
was
he
some.
did Tromeo and Juliet. He wrote it.
Oh, well,
No. And that movie's pretty fucked up.
it says,
That movie's pretty fucked up. But most Troma movies are.
yeah,
Yeah, Stacy, when he got in trouble for something in his past.
yeah. He had
And they
tweeted something, and
and they
it.
canceled him, and Stacy was like, "Well, that's what you get for hanging around with Lloyd Kaufman." She cannot stand Lloyd Kaufman.
Really, she doesn't like Lloyd Kaufman. Why? I would think she would love Lloyd Kaufman, being a horror fan. What did
She
Lloyd
doesn't
do?
like him as a person because he's kind of the times that she met him, he was an ass.
Oh, she's met him.
Oh yeah, yeah, we both have. He was at when I met him at the same time with her. Well, let me rephrase that. She met him before me
Hmm.
at some kind of convention dinner or something like that, and said that his wife was drunk off her ass and doing stupid shit. But then when me and her met him together, I was a huge Troma fan. Of course, I was younger, but I'm still a Troma fan. Anyway, that's another story. Um, she went up to him and said, "My husband is such a big fan of yours. We'd love to get a picture with you." And he goes, "Oh, if he's such a big fan, why isn't he at my table buying everything?" Just being a real prick about it. It's like, well, okay, that's kind of an
Okay.
ass thing to say. So that really had turned her against him. I still like Lloyd because of what he stands for as
Yeah.
far as independent cinema and giving. I mean, these people that do his films, they would never make it on the big screen. They would never be considered for anything with the tattoos and the piercings and
Yeah. Well,
I
you look
love
at Sweetmeats, throwing the Troma name in front of that is really what,
yeah,
got that, on the tour and all of that. So without Troma attached to it, yeah, I mean it's definitely the boost you need
yeah,
to be seen and heard. So yeah. But you also have to realize that somebody who makes the movies he makes is involved in you know, uh, it ain't gonna be. This isn't, your, you know, yeah. He's gonna be in a different plateau from from other filmmakers, I would imagine, um, to have the mind he's got. So we can now cross him off of our guest list.
No, we can still get him. Oh my God, there's if I can find it again, I'll send it to you. But there, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. He did an interview with some guy, and the guy said, "This is so and so on whatever our show's name is, and with us today is our guest, Lloyd Kaufman. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?" And he goes, "Why? Don't you know who I am? Why should I do it? That's your job. You don't know anything about me, do you?" And he gave the guy shit throughout the entire interview because of that.
Wow.
He kept saying, "I bet you don't know any." I was like, man, that's rough.
Yeah. See,
Just for
I
saying,
learned,
introduce yourself.
yeah, I learned that right off on something I didn't even, this was not what it was meant for. When we get a mic check from people, we always say, "Can you say and spell your first and last name?" Um, just so while they're saying it, we can get a level check.
Right.
That's that's the whole thing. And also, if the person back at the place doesn't know how to spell it, they've got it spelled out, so it kills two birds. And I forget who I was interviewing, but I needed the mic check, and I knew damn well who it was and how to say and spell their first and last name.
Right. Yeah.
I just asked him to do it for the level check. And I said, "Can you say and spell your first name?" But I am so and so, and and it was like really put off. Like as I, the same
Wow.
situation. Like I didn't know who he was, and like, well, what the fuck, like, okay, yeah, let me tell you who I am, and I didn't mean it. Like, who the
Right.
hell are you? It was I just needed to get a level check, and that's what you say. Instead of saying, because normally you would say, okay, just say something, and they're like, and that's no good. Because
Right.
you say spelling, yes, it's Kyle Pierson, Kyle Pierson, and by the time they're done with that, you already have the check. That's all it takes. So right then and there, I was like, okay, never even allude to the fact that you don't know who this person is, no matter who the hell it is. Is
Right.
whoever I talk to from now on, don't say that. And I also I remember when 50 to 1 came out, the first movie I worked on, and they were interviewing one of the radio guys was interviewing the cast, and it was obvious he had no idea who they were at all. And they
Yeah.
weren't big names to begin with. But the way he went about it is like he didn't even research it first. So he was like, "And what's your name again?" And and I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh, idiot!" To
That's fucked
never
up.
say that. And it was just so awkward. And I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Mm.
Even if you don't know, you got to play it off. But the last thing you do is, "You are who again?" I'm like, oh,
Right.
that's so. So yeah, there can be bad reactions to that, but then yeah, the other way around, if you're just trying to be nice and then they're like, "Well, what the fuck, man? You should be doing this for me."
Right.
Yeah, that can be taken wrong as well.
You want to
So,
see something really fucking hysterical. You got to
hmm,
spend a little bit of time with it because they're like
okay.
feature length. Watch a making of documentary of one of his films, like Terror Firma,
Hmm.
um, possibly Toxic Avenger, for Citizen Toxic. He's done a couple of documentaries on making the film that was filmed while they were filming it. God, they're fucking hilarious.
Really?
Because he gets so fucking bent out of shape sometimes. And because they're so low budget, the catering is cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
the entire fucking time that they're there. And we're filming at a school. That's where you're sleeping, on the floor in the school. Here's sleeping bags. It's just funny as shit. Oh,
I
Poultrygeist.
would like to.
That's the other one that he did a making of.
Which one?
Poultrygeist.
No.
Night of the Chicken Dead.
Which one is the funniest? If I'm going to watch one of these, which one's the best?
Terror Firmer. And it's
Terror,
Terror.
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 Okay. All right.
Because
Terror.
that's going
Okay.
to have the scene running through New York.
Okay. Yeah, I love to see how, films are. That's what I like about being an extra. Even if I'm nowhere to be found when the movie is released,
Yeah.
just being there watching the movie being filmed
Yeah.
and seeing how they, take all this. And plus, I've been on, I was in a movie that cost $160 million to make, and I've been in a movie where, people are paying them to make it.
Yeah.
So, so, or, people are paying them, so it's interesting to see the dynamic, especially yeah, the food's a huge difference. One,
Mm.
I've got people bringing me pineapple slices and slush smoothies up to me while I'm standing there, so I don't have to move. And the other one, they're like, "All we've got is hot water for you." Because we have to spend all day, and we don't even have ice in the cooler. Like okay, so
We
you
got some hot dog water.
yeah, you never know what the hell you're gonna get. So here's one that, and I need to see this documentary, and then we can wrap this up. There's the Chevy Chase documentary.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that, and because everyone's always talking about how difficult Chevy Chase is to work with, and all these horror stories. And I remember Kevin Smith was going to do a Fletch movie, and then he didn't because after he interviewed or talked to Chevy about it, he said, well, he acts like he's God's gift to comedy, and he didn't want to deal with it. And he says he wanted to ad lib too much, and I'm writing it the way I want it, to be, whatever. And I, without being there, you don't know for sure. Like,
Right.
okay, you don't know the exact situation, whether to take Chevy's side or the other side. I do look at it this way, though. Every Chevy Chase movie I've seen, whether it's good or bad, I think it's typically better having him in it than a lot of other people because he knows how to get the comedy in and the fact that he ad libs. Because there's been three Fletch movies, two of them with Chevy Chase and one without. There's a difference. And,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, you can follow the script and you can do it really well. And, and the third movie is a good movie, but it's not Chevy Chase and you're
Right.
not getting the same type of thing. So I keep thinking like, okay, are you really not going to make a movie because it's going to be difficult, even though there's a pretty good chance that the movie's going to turn out funnier than it could have been because of the fact, you got it. Like Bill Murray's the same way. I guess he's better now, but he used to be, people said you didn't know when he was going to show up and he was a real pain in the ass. But I would beg to say that you take Bill Murray out of Caddyshack and Stripes and Groundhog Day and Scrooged and all these movies
Yeah.
that they're it's not going to be as funny. So should they act like that when they're on a set? No, they shouldn't. They should still take everybody seriously and do because you're on a time constraint. It costs money. There's no reason to be rude to people. Everybody should be treated the same. But if somebody's eccentric, it's also a gamble. You're like, okay, I'm going to get, I, for the sake of this movie, I'm going to have to
Can
deal
you
with
work
some,
around it? You
yeah,
know?
yeah. It's some shit I'm going to have to do, just like, writers for um, comedians and musicians. When they come, they have a list of demands that you need to make happen for them. And
Yeah.
And, people drive all over town getting them the shit they want. And a lot of times, because I worked at a place that had the bands come and they're like, they're like, half of this stuff we know they don't want. It's just I will feel bigger and more important if I know they went through all the trouble to get me all the shit that's on this
Yeah.
list. And that going in, you're like, okay, well, if we want a big name, that's what we're going to have to do to get it.
Yeah.
So I defend it, but I also think, there's got to, there's always, there's not an excuse for it. But if I was making a Fletch movie and they gave me the script, I'd be like, okay, I'm, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for anything to happen, but damn it, I'm not making a Fletch movie without Chevy Chase in it.
That's right.
So,
The one I would be very interested in seeing, first off, I'm the Chevy. Mean ass cat. Um,
it tastes just like chicken.
I seen a clip of that Chevy Chase one where he was asking the reporter, he said something about, are you trying to get me or do you think you're gonna get me? Or something like that. And she says, yeah, I would like to get you. I'd like to understand you or something along those lines. He was like, you're not going to. You're not bright enough. It's like, damn.
Really? He
It's
said
kind of
that?
fuck up.
God. Yeah, see,
The
that's
clip continued and I understood kind of what he was saying with it, but I'm like initially it's like, wow, that's fucking cold.
yeah. Yeah, you kind of if you're going to interview Chevy Chase, you better be ready for Chevy Chase.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to interview Chevy Chase, but I would also realize this may not go, and also go at it with a thick skin and say, okay, what's he gonna say? It's kind of like the thing I say with Harrison Ford. It could be absolutely hysterical, or he could make me look like a complete,
Yeah.
idiot. Is it worth it? All right, I'm willing to take the chance. If
Yeah,
you're,
same here.
if
I
yeah,
hear you.
so, but yeah, but then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to be an ass, to
Yeah,
people.
you don't have to be like that, but
Yeah, and then
some
sometimes
people
I
are.
also think like, is he saying something he thinks is going to come across as a joke? Because he may say, like you and me, we'll make a comment about one of us being well, you're stupid or da 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 whatever you know and we know how to say it in a way that the other one will get the joke and
Yeah.
laugh. And if I said the exact same joke to somebody else, they'll say, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just, it was meant as
Joking.
a joke." Well, you sound like you're an asshole. It's like, well, yeah, okay, I probably shouldn't have said it to you. So, but yeah, so without being in the room and seeing how those go, but either way, I still want to see the.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah,
But
because
what
there's
I
too
was
many of his movies I've watched over the years that I love. So if he turns out he's an ass, I'm still gonna.
still gonna
I'm
watch
not
it.
one of these people like I'm not gonna watch the movie anymore. I'm like, no, I'm still gonna watch the freaking movie.
Depends on the circumstance. Now, if someone's just an asshole, I'm not. Stacy is good for this. Her mom's good for this. If they're an asshole or um, my mother-in-law doesn't like Chris Pratt because of the way he treated one of his ex-girlfriends or ex-wives or
Oh
something.
yeah, Anna Faris. Yeah, he was married to Anna Faris and he divorced her.
Okay, yeah. They didn't like that, so they can't stand him as an actor. I'm not going to do that. I
Yeah.
will still
Well, the thing
watch.
is, the thing is, I follow both of them, and I have no idea why they got divorced. I don't know. For all I know, it was her fault.
Right.
Maybe,
Or maybe,
maybe I have no idea. I know they got divorced, but I do not know, and I believe he divorced her, but I don't know why. And no one's ever said it. So I'm like, well, it's hard to blame either one of them
right.
because for all I know, there could be a hell of a lot more to it.
Yeah. But even if there is, I'm still going to watch Chris Pratt. I'm still going Okay, Anna Faris is not a good example.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
We've
all of a
covered
sudden you got a different aspect on this because
we've discussed this before, but unless it's something like really, really fucked up, like the director who, and I don't know if we've talked about this before or not, but the director who went to jail for being a pedophile. I don't know that
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
you know what? Even with that, I still watch his movies. So I can't
I,
say that because I don't like him that I'm gonna not watch his movies.
well, here's the thing that I have an issue with is because yes, yeah, I wouldn't deal deal with him, but thousands of people make a movie. So do you then forego all the contributions of all those people because one person that was involved caused a problem? Because there's a lot of movies out there that, for one reason or another, I could not like that movie because somebody's in it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't like Will for slapping Chris Rock, and I don't like uh, Bill Cosby for the drug thing, and I don't like, and there's always a reason. I mean, there's so many things you could just
Right.
knock out. Like cancel culture. I'm not going to cancel all these things. And then what are you left with? Plus the fact that, like, if all of a sudden the we talked about Only the Brave was probably the best movie I was in. Well, if all of a sudden uh, it turns out that Miles Teller did something to somebody, and they're like, okay, well, nobody can watch Only the Brave now. And I'm like, well, what? It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but there's all these other people, and all of us got together, and I'm like, you're not going to watch the movie because of, there's one guy out of 1,000.
Right.
And any movie, if you have 1,000 people, there's going to be one guy in it that did something that they shouldn't have, I guarantee.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah,
You just don't know about it.
yeah, am I thrilled with what Mel Gibson did? This big rant and all that shit. No, I think what an ass. And then every once in a while he compounds it. I'm like, God damn it, would you just shut? No, I hate doing, but I'm gonna freaking watch Lethal Weapon 2. And I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think, yeah, I think quitting watching an entire movie or a television series because of some, one person uh, is, I can see why if you're watching it, like, oh my God, I can't believe so and so did that. Yeah, but it's also a reminder while you're watching it, what, how bad, how you can, like keep in mind that this person had the world by the balls and flush it all down the toilet because they're an idiot. They had this, and now they're over there. And a new one going around that pisses me off is the Jim Carrey Grinch thing. I
What?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but well, I do know the part of this. Jim Carrey had an absolute awful time making the Grinch because of the costume. And
Right.
he needed to go see, somebody from like a SEAL team or something to explain how to get through each day wearing this costume and compacted. Like, okay, if you're like, this is like how you would go through torture. So people are like, well, now the Grinch is ruined. I can't watch the Grinch ruined because of how awful it was for Jim Carrey to make it. I look at it this way. Jim Carrey wanted to make this movie so bad that he went through all of that to try to make the best movie he possibly could so that you would watch it.
Yeah.
Not that you would turn around and not watch it. So, like,
What the fuck is
so that this is like it's a ridiculous reason not to.
Yeah, what the fuck is
So,
wrong with people?
yeah, you should watch it more because he went through all that hell to do it. If they forced him into it and he couldn't quit and they were sitting there and whipping his ass as they get
Right.
out there and be the Grinch humor. But no, he got paid. He was gonna turn it. He was gonna pay him back. He's like, I can't do this. They said, okay, we can do this for you. He did it. He said, okay, and he made a movie. And he's even said he would like to go back and do it again because now with CGI, he could wear the other stuff without having to wear the whole damn costume. And he's like,
Right.
okay, I could actually be more freer and enjoy it more. So he's like, it's too bad he didn't enjoy it the first time, but he really loves the character and loves the movie and would like another shot, if sequel wise or something like that. So I'm like, no, not
I'd be
watch the
pissed.
freaking movie because he went through all that trouble to make it. There's a lot of shit people go through to make movies.
Yeah.
You're sitting in there freezing your ass off every night, or you're in a pool every day, or what's her face held her breath underwater 7 minutes or 6 minutes, Kate Winslet, for a movie. I'm like, there's a lot of things that people go through that are absolutely horrible trying to make a
Right.
movie.
One of the Friday the 13th movies, they had to actually, the actor who played Jason had to say, I'm not doing any more filming until you get that girl, that naked girl, out of the freezing fucking lake and warm her up because she's getting hypothermia. I
Wow,
mean,
really?
yeah, people go through all kinds of shit. And for you to sit there, not you, but for someone to
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I can't watch The Grinch because he went through so much shit." That's like a slap in the face. He went through that to make the movie for you.
Yeah,
And you know,
exactly.
you're saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have done all that for me. I'm not gonna watch it." That's
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, and again, this pales in comparison. I don't know if I've ever brought this up. I think probably have before. But when I was making Stargirl, it was supposed to take place on a summer or a fall night in Arizona, and it was actually a winter night in New Mexico. And we're watching a football game, and we shot from dusk till dawn 4 nights in a row. And we're supposed to be dressed light because we're enjoying a nice warm football game. Two of the nights it was 37 degrees, two of the nights it was 38 degrees.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
it was frickin' freezing. And we're out there all night long until the sun came up.
Oh my
And
God.
we're sitting on cold metal bleachers. And just free, and like when they said cut, I had a sweatshirt under the bleacher and I pulled it up and I wrapped it around my frickin' head to cover my ears because my ears were numb. And it was awful. The director ended up getting I think she got pneumonia. I know she was really sick for sure. And she couldn't even come out the fourth night. So she's up in a heated area,
What
directing
the?
down from the press box. Um, the little girl, Grace Vanderwall, that won America's Got Talent one year for playing the ukulele.
Okay, yeah.
She's the star. She's out there in a cheerleader outfit. And then the second they say cut, they had to hurry up and wrap her up and the other cheerleaders. And then we go to do it and they had to pull it back out. And you could tell she's just dying. And we
God.
did this night after night after night after night. And all you can see of me literally is one couple second shot. And it's up on his, I'm in the bleachers. It's a wide shot of bleachers. So there's all these people. And I just happen to remember where I sat. So I go up to my 75-inch TV, 4K, and I'm like, that thing is me right there. Yeah, I think those are my jeans. I think those are my jeans. That's all I'm in. For 4 days, and again, if somebody said, oh my God, I'm never watching that freaking movie because look at what they did to those people. And again, that's nothing compared to having to be in a freaking outfit, 5 hours,
Right.
put in 5 hours. I'm claustrophobic. I couldn't do it. I could understand why he would have hated it and said, screw this, I'm getting out. But if somebody came up to me and said, people should not watch that movie. I'm like, bull shit. People should not. I we didn't do this for you not to watch it. Watch the freaking movie.
No shit.
So anyway, for some reason, my laptop that is plugged in is telling me I'm running out of power. So I got to
Well,
figure out why that is.
that would be a benefit.
So I think we're wrapping up this show, and we don't know what we have coming up. Do we?
I have some ideas.
We've got some ideas. Well, we'll talk about those ideas later because I don't know when this is going to come out.
Yeah.
So, In the Spotlight is the name of the show. On YouTube podcast, check out Attack of the Spotlight. That is our tentative name. You can watch it on there. And then we're also in talks about bringing the audio portion to a podcast near you. We'll see if any of this succeeds. We'll see how things go. But keep an eye out for Attack of the Spotlight. The same show, you just don't have to look at us. So that's probably a benefit right there. For John Horton, I'm Kyle Pierson, and thank you so very, very much for tuning in to this episode of In the Spotlight.
What's a benefit to look at me at least?
Well, we've always said that I'm the sex appeal. You're the brains of the show. You're the one that puts it all together. You're the heart of the show. You're the one that comes up with the ideas. You're the one that edits it. You're the one that puts it together. And I'm just here for the eye candy for the ladies.
Okay.
So
I was enjoying that butter up until you said that part.